What's up, guys? It is the final training day of the week. That means it's heavy deadlift day. The significance of that is that here in my garage, I didn't mean to say that, by the way, but here in my garage, as you guys pointed out in the last video, we are literally on tile. So heavy deadlifts and heavy red plates combined with tile is not a great combination. So I got these two pieces of ply. These are both 3/4 inch. So together is obviously like 1.5 inches. Wait, is that 1.5 inches? Yes, it is, right? So I guess we'll see how this kind of like holds up to the deadlifts. I'm not gonna put the mat on top of it just because these are like 8 feet long and the mat is only 6 feet long. And obviously I need the mat for the rack as well. So yeah, I don't want to break my tile, bro. Like I don't want to break the tile. So fingers crossed. Gonna start warming up. Obviously pretty chill with the warm-ups. Don't have the stationary bike, so I'll probably just do like 2 sets with the bar here. So some RDLs, fire up the posterior chain, and then some regular deads as well, just to get the technique going. The good thing about conventional is that even without the bike, I should feel nice and warm. If I used to pull sumo, that might be an issue. Probably the most surprising thing about deadlifting on wood is just how grippy it is. Like that's insane. I don't know if it's because it's like new or what, but it's actually more grippy than the freaking rubber, which is insane. And it's also extremely flat. So I'm not gonna have any like bar roll or anything like that. One of the things when you're creating like your own home gym, you kind of like forget the small little things. So I literally had to go and pick this up this morning. It is magnesium carbonate, and I don't know if like other like people in like America or whatever use these as like chalk, but in Trinidad, this is literally what we use as chalk. There's not like chalk selling, so to speak, or it's difficult to find. So yeah, I just use this. Maybe that's why, like, you know, my grip doesn't hold up sometimes. I don't know. Let me know. All right, so 2 things. One, with that 485 before this, I really didn't like the way it sounded when it hit the when it hit the board. So around this weight is where I kind of start to get like iffy on, you know, like the tile lasting. And this is the last warm up, the top set. We have a double at 782. So yeah, I'm not, I think that's 355 kilos. I'm really not sure, like we hear how like this sounds once it hits the ground. And then 2, it is extremely hot today. Like my camera just said, yo, I need a break, and it stopped recording just simply because of how hot it is. So I'm taking a temperature reading outside right now. And as soon as I've done this set, I'll show you guys. In the shade here is not that bad, but outside, sheesh, is cooking. See how this moves though. All right, I kind of controlled that one down so it didn't sound as scary. And I think I should be able to do the same thing with the top set. Weight felt all right, not great, not bad. Let me show you guys the temperature though. So it'll be falling quickly, but this is it in Fahrenheit. That is 110. And then is it in Celsius? It's like 43-ish. So safe to say, it is hot. But let's load up the top set. All right, top double here. The goal is to make this look as comfortable as possible. It's only week 2, so we have a lot of progression up to week 4. The goal there is 848 for a double. So yeah, this should be relatively smooth, even given the heat and stuff like that. And I'm also going to try to rest pretty short in between each rep of the cluster. Controlling that down is not fun. That didn't feel too bad, considering that this week overall wasn't like my best week with respect to anything when it comes to recovery or anything like that. That felt pretty good because squats early this week, as you guys saw, they weren't great. So yeah, I think we trending in the right direction overall. And next week, which should be what? I think next week should be 8:04, 8:15. I think that should go well. So I have my first back down set loaded up here, but a quick update on the boards. I do notice some like grooves forming, so I guess that is the importance of the rubber mat. So I probably definitely want to implement that for next week because I could already see this becoming like a issue here. In terms of the tile, I don't see any like cracks forming around the like area. I don't know about below. So whenever I'm done deadlifting, I'll be sure to move this and show you guys the damage, if any. Hopefully not. Heavier set here, 595. And before I hop into that, 2 questions which I get very, very often are: 1, how do I scale or progress my ascending sets on a week-to-week basis? And 2, why do I drop so much from my top set to my back down sets? Because I think this 595 here, which is the heaviest set, is something like a 24-25% drop from that top set of 782, right? So the first thing is that I don't recommend most people drop that much, just because it has a lot to do with your ability to tolerate intensity And for me, it's like, although I can do my work in sets, mid 600, 700, stuff like that, I found that that just negatively impacts me down the road. As in, I don't recover enough on time, so I don't really make it to week 4 feeling as good as I should. So it's really something to experiment with. So it's not like a fixed number where it's like, yes, I drop 25% every single week. I progress my back down sets independently of my top set. So my top set could be anything. As a matter of fact, my top set next week is going to be a 33 or 15 kilo jump. And I'm only going to jump 5 keys on these back downs. And that ties into the first question, which is how do I progress my ascending sets? So literally, this is what I do for all my ascending sets. I decide how much I'm going to jump between each ascending set. And then I just scale on a weekly basis by that amount. So for example, let's say I'm doing 500 pounds, 510 pounds, and then 520 pounds for my ascending sets. The next week, I'll just scale by 10 pounds. So I'll do 510, 520, 530. Then I'll do 520, 530, 540. And that's just how I scale. And I just kind of compare it to my previous numbers and what I've done before. And I just scale that. It doesn't necessarily matter the RPE. All that matters is I'm getting in more work, and that is benefiting me, you know? So that's kind of how I approach these back downs. Let me do this last one. In the last video, I got a very satisfying slap before I did my top set. So let me see if I can do that again. Oh, that was weak, bro, damn. Yeah. Some of those reps didn't sound too promising in terms of the title situation, but we'll see. Moment of truth for the tiles. Honestly, I am pretty optimistic about it, just because I've done this before, not in this exact garage, but I've trained in a garage during COVID with just one piece of wood, and nothing happened. So if this is broken, that's shoddy tile work. Tile guy, if you're watching this, that's shoddy tile work if this is broken, bro. So let's see. This is the final damage to the actual like wood, if that's not like wildly overexposed, but yeah, you guys can see it's like a couple grooves. So let's move this out of the way and see what's up. Okay, no signs of anything yet. Tile man, whoever did this, you good. You're good to go. You passed the vibe check. Just move this last bit here. Okay. I'm very happy about that because that would have been expensive to fix, and I would have been pissed with myself because in my mind I was saying, use the mat, but yeah, we good to go. Unfortunately, we have squats today. I would love to be done because the sun starts like creeping in here and it just becomes like even hotter in here. Finishing up the second half of this element. I already drank half off camera. What do you guys think is worse though? Like I was thinking about it actually while I was drinking this. Do you think it's worse to train in really hot weather? I'm talking about like 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus, or like around 40 plus degrees Celsius with no AC, or when it's closer to like freezing with no heating? Because I feel like the heat kind of like genuinely drains you and doesn't allow you to perform at your maximum for an extended period of time. But with the cold, it's like your only challenge is like staying warm and like warming up. So I don't know which one is worse. I've done both. Obviously the heat more often than the cold by far. I've only done the cold like a couple times. But I don't know. I feel like the cold isn't that bad. Maybe I'm just saying that because I want the heat to be worse. Let me finish this. That's way too cold, bro. Bruh. All right, let's warm up for these inevitable squats. Top set here, 452. A question I actually got was why I specifically do high bar pause squats. And there's a couple different reasons for that. So the first one is that I do high bar because if you look at my regular squat stance, it's actually extremely quad dominant, and it kind of looks like my high bar technique even when I'm not doing actual high bar. So high bar just helps, target the quads a little bit more, and that directly benefits my main squat. I do it paused because my knees aren't the best. So simply doing it paused, one, limits the weight I could use, and two, just like I don't have that like bounce out the bottom, etc. So it's a little bit more like stable and controlled. And I do high bar and pause together for the reasons that I mentioned, and also just because it limits the weight I could use. And on this day, I don't really want to be using too much weight on the bar in general. So set of 6 here, as you can see, very light as usual, and I'm gonna execute well. On this training day, I usually have 2 accessories. The first one is reverse hypers, and the second one is contralateral split squat iso holds. So the reverse hypers are the more difficult one there to swap out. The split squats, honestly, I'll be able to do that as normal. Just instead of a dumbbell, I will use a plate. I don't know, I had a brain fart there. But yeah, the reverse hypers, ideally I'd like to swap these out for some back extensions. So maybe something where I just like set up right here and then bend over the bar and extend. But two things. One, I don't have a pad for here. And I am not about to basically hip thrust that much weight without a pad. So today I'm gonna do some light RDLs, very, very light specifically, just because the purpose of the reverse hypers is not really to, work my lower back or anything like that, at least for me. It's more so just to get some quality work and traction into the posterior chain. And with the RDLs here, I'm not gonna be able to get that like traction, but I should be able to get like some nice slow control work in the hamstrings, the glutes, everything like that. But just like I said last time when I was talking about the GHG Nordic curls, the reverse hypers are a movement where it's like, it's difficult to say exactly what is a good substitute for that, you know? Just because it's such a unique movement. So yeah, gonna be doing some light RDLs here, so don't judge me based on the weight. I could probably RDL more than you. If you judge me based on the weight on the bar right now, you better be able to deadlift 900 plus. Only Jesus Oliveras could judge me right now, bro. So I'm gonna go more so on feel here. I'm not really aiming for a particular range of motion. Yeah, it's going on feel. The other good thing about going light lighters is that your grip doesn't become a limiting factor. These feel good though. Last movement of the day, contralateral split squat iso holds. You guys know the drill with these. Perfect for knee health, and I'm holding it for just about 30 seconds or so. Yeah, it's always hard to talk while doing these, but yeah, last week I got brisket on this day. This week I think I might stick to my diet. I don't know. I also want to give you guys like a step update at the end of this as well. This is harder than you think though. Like some people always say that this seems very easy, and it does. I assume that it would seem easy, but it's not. It's actually pretty difficult. Yeah, but I'll give you guys a step update because it is currently the 2nd of February, and January was a pretty successful month as it relates to steps. I pretty much was on point with my goal for each and every day, and I think I was just like one shy or something like that. So yeah. God damn. You guys know the drill when we training in the garage gym. Protein shake to end off the workout. I mixed a little creatine in here as well, just because I actually forgot to take my creatine before I started the workout. Maybe I could have moved that 782 faster. But yeah, let's down this. My chugging skills have not been on point today, so I don't expect to be able to chug this too quickly, but we'll see. That was my best work. But also wasn't bad. In terms of my steps, I said I'd update you guys on this. You guys can see there, that is the month of January. That is the average. And you can see the third to last day right there, how it just kind of like dipped down. That day, I genuinely just forgot. Like, I had a lot going on. And then I went to bed and I woke up at like 2 a.m. the next day. And I was like, wait, I didn't finish my steps. And I think on that day in particular, yeah, on that day, you can see on top right there, I got 7,500. And then the day after, like 2 days after that, I did 15K just to make myself feel better about that loss. So my New Year's resolution was to hit 10K every single day of the year. I already feel that, but I'm not gonna fall off. Like, that's the biggest thing with like resolutions and goals and everything like that, is that even when you fall off or you mess up and you're not able to like actually hit the goal exactly, it's still better to be 90% on point, 95% on point, or 99% on point, rather than just going from like 100 to like, all right, cool, I'm not gonna do 10K anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather finish off the year saying, okay, I missed one day, than, you know, finish off the year saying, yeah, I barely even got 10K on any day, you know? So yeah, that's just the mindset. But that's it for this video, guys. Next video I'll probably be at the commercial gym, so I'll catch you guys there. Peace.